Okay. Good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome to our meeting number 221. Well, took me a second to remember that, but big number, right? Well, before we start any meeting, we do have a few ground rules. So let me lay them out. As per tradition, one, let's keep our noise making devices on silent. This includes for both offline as well as online attendees. Reason being, you don't want to be the one who's speaking online and your phone goes off, right? So let's take 5 seconds to do that. And if 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now, second, do not leave the meeting hall in person or the meeting virtually when a speaker is speaking. Let us only exit the meeting once the applause is started. This way, the speaker doesn't lose confidence while speaking and is heard. Now, moving to number 3. Let's not offend anyone when we come on the stage. Let's ensure that we talk on everything which we want, which we as Toastmasters do provide a forum for everyone. But let's not talk or offend any of our members or the audience by talking on issues of sex, religion, caste, race, creed, politics, etc. And we should ensure that we touch these topics very sensitively. Now, moving on to a few online specific rules because I myself am on joining online and I see a few rule takers and guests as well. One, let us keep ourselves muted when we are not speaking. And two, let us turn our cameras off when we are not in the meeting hall. This way, it avoids distractions and protects your own privacy as well. So, those being the rules, let's now move on to welcoming our presiding officer, the President Toastmaster Jaswita. She's someone who has logged in my absence to get today's meeting arranged. Toastmaster Jasmita, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Prana. Sorry for that. I'm Toastmaster Jaswita, your presiding officer for the meeting number 221. And I declare the meeting number 221 themed through the lens open. Big round of applause. Hello, everyone. Good evening. How was your evening? How was your morning? How was your afternoon? My God. Okay, I see the energy in the room is really low. Can you just scream a good evening at least? Scream it out. Thank you. Thank you for that. Thanks a lot. And here I am, ready to introduce Toastmasters International. As we all know, our club mission goes like in Toastmasters, we provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which our members are empowered to develop their communication skills and leadership skills, resulting in greater self confidence and personal growth. And we all strive to achieve that here by supporting each other. Let's do that all throughout this meeting. Be silent when a person is speaking and support them as much as you can. And coming to the announcements of yes, coming to the announcements of today's meeting. Today is 30th September. What does the last day of a month mark for? Anyone? Any guesses? Yes? Then? Hey, exactly. Our general evaluator is rocking today. Yes, please, after today's meeting, open your phones or your laptops, mark your status, goal status, and if you have taken any other roles, mark your TMOM status. And we are going to send a form soon for the hoodies. Please go ahead and fill that. The third announcement, your mentors. As you have already seen, there is a form being released for you to choose your mentors. Most probably, you can give your priority orders and your mentors will be assigned accordingly as our new financial term is starting from tomorrow. And this is the third announcement. And the fourth announcement, we are going to have two contests. One, 6th October evaluation contest and 7th October table topic contest. At the end of this meeting, I'd be giving you a brief about this contest as the contest chair is not present here. He is on Amritapuri trip. So stay tuned for that. Coming back to the theme through the lens of psychological exploration. Whenever I see Toastmaster Angelina, I am amused by the themes that she chooses. Psychology has always been a subject that I was most interested in. Usually, my parents are very into engineering, or else I would have chosen psychology. Okay. I think most of you would have chosen something else. Or how many of you are engineering engineers by birth? No one? Proud engineers at the back. Well, to introduce Toastmaster Angelina, yes. Toastmaster Angelina says she's someone who deeply values empathy and enjoys exchanging perspectives with others. The exchanging perspectives is like sharing stories from different chapters of life to create a richer and more compassionate narrative together. Toastmaster Angelina, the stage is all yours. All the best. Claps, people, claps.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jaswita. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and welcome guests. I'm Angelina George, and it's my privilege to serve as your Toastmaster of the day for this special meeting. Today, we embark on a journey into the fascinating intersection of psychology and compassion as we explore the theme through their lens, a psychological exploration of empathy. But before we continue with our meeting, let's take a moment to reflect on the remarkable history of Toastmasters International. This nonprofit educational organization was founded by Dr. Ralph C. Smedley on the 22nd of October 1924. Dr. Smedley's vision was to create a space where individuals could develop their communication and leadership skills, ultimately becoming more empathetic and effective communicators. In a supportive community or corporate environment, members prepare and deliver speeches, respond to impromptu questions, and give and receive constructive feedback. It is through this regular practice that members are empowered to meet personal and professional communication goals. Today, Toastmasters International comprises of approximately 270,000 members in more than 14,200 clubs across 148 countries. The organization continues to inspire individuals from all walks of life to become better communicators and leaders, fostering empathy as a core element of this mission. Now, let us get into the theme. Today's explanation of the theme is through their lens, a psychological exploration of empathy. Here's a quotation. I think we all have empathy. We may not have enough courage to display it. This is a famous quote by a renowned author and poet, Maya Angelou. Let us enumerate on it. Empathy serves as the fundamental underpinning of our comprehension of one another. It functions as the perspective through which we perceive the world, the link that forges emotional connections, and the guiding principle that navigates us through the complex realm of human emotions. To explore this concept more thoroughly, let's examine how empathy assumes a central role in three facets of our lives, particularly in our roles as students, namely classroom dynamics, peer support, and teaching and learning. So let's hear it from the audience. Would you all like to be an empath now? I can't hear you guys. All right, cool. I'll take that as a yes. I shall give you examples on the 3 points that I have mentioned above as we go along with the meeting. But before that, here's the agenda of the meeting where we will explore empathy through speeches, evaluations, and spontaneous thoughts in our table topic sessions. Let's now call upon the general evaluator of today's meeting, Toastmaster Sharanya. This is her introduction. One thing that really helped me in connecting with people is that I have tried to understand and relate to and empathize with people. And I think that's what brings many individuals together. So let's give it up for the general evaluator, please.
Thank you, Toastmaster Angelina. Unfortunately, you're online, so I can't shake hands. So, virtual shake hand. Okay. So, you might think the role of an evaluator is to point out mistakes, right? That's what happens in every speech. You get to know where you've gone wrong. But after I joined Toastmasters, I realized that's not the purpose of an evaluator. Actually, every evaluator has already been in this position once. And with reference to the theme, I think every evaluator's job is to empathize with the speakers. Actually, every evaluator has already been in this position, and that's the meaning of empathy. Put yourself in another person's shoes and figure out where they can improve. That is my job today. I'm going to be encouraging each speaker and telling them where they can improve so that they can be better the next time they give a speech. And for that, I have my tag team. So, what's tag team? We have T for timer, who will be our clock for the day. And we have our counter, who is going to pay close attention to all your pauses. And then we have a grammarian who's going to be your English teacher for the day. So, without further ado, let me call upon the timer for the day. The timer for the day is Toastmaster Aditya V. He says he's a hasty and anxious person who likes solo traveling. He's a big foodie and communicates better with people in his mother tongue. He is good at convincing people, and his talents and skills only come out when the situation demands. He also says that he underestimates himself a lot. Over to Toastmaster Aditya. Could you please spotlight yourself while you're giving your role introduction?
Good even- Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and honored guests. So, most of you have idea about traffic signals, right? So, like 3 minutes or something, we hate it, like when we get long times. So, similarly, here also, I'm here to time your speeches. So, I'm timer and I'm gonna time speeches, evaluations, and table topics. So, the timings for table topics is at 1 minute, I'll be raising the green card. At 1 minute 30 seconds, I'll be raising the yellow card. At 2 minutes, I'll be raising the red card. And for the timings for the icebreaker speeches are at 4 minutes, it is green card. At 5 minutes, it is yellow card. 6 minutes, it's red card. For prepared speeches, the timings is 5 minutes, green card, and 6 minutes, it is yellow card, and at 7 minutes, it's red card. Evaluations, it is 2 to 3 minutes. So 2 minutes, green card, and 2 minutes 30 seconds, it is yellow card, and 3 minutes, it is red card. So I'll be strictly following the timings in the agenda. So as soon as time gets done, I'll be flashing the red card. I hope all of you follow your timings and complete your speeches and evaluations within the time. Over to G.
So next we have our R counter. Our R counter for today is Toastmaster Arpita. She says she wants to be a person who's showing empathy is easier than misunderstanding and staying in the same zone. Over to Toastmaster Arpita.
Good evening, my fellow Toastmasters and guests present here. So today I'll be our counter for today. That is, I'll be again. Even I use R a lot, but yeah. The purpose for it, our counter is to note words and sounds used as crutch or pause filler by anyone who speaks. During the meeting, I will listen to the overused words, including well, but, so, and I will listen to I listen for the filler words, including and I'll also note the speaker's repeats such as I or this means, and at the end of the meeting, I'll show you the report. Sorry, I'll report the number of hours or crutch words you've used. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Arpita. Now we have a grammarian, and when I asked her for an intro, she did not give me one. So here you go. Her friend Arpita describes her as a teeny meeny alien, and she herself describes her as a grammar Nazi. I find Toastmaster Sri Lalita a really good motivator. If you are hesitant about something, she's definitely going to make you do it. She has amazing language skills, and I think all of us can agree with that. And she has an amazing collection of poetry. You should go check her Instagram out. And now you will see how good of a grammarian she is. Over to you, Toastmaster Sri Lalita.
Thank you for that intro, Toastmaster Sharanya. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I'm Sri Lalita, and I'll be the grammarian for today. As the grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all your speeches and make note of all the good usages, that is, the cool quotes, fancy words that you use, as well as any improvements that can be made. I'll take note of any improper usages, and I will also introduce the word of the day and the idiom of the day. So, the word of the day is sonder, which is the realization that everyone's life is as complex as your own. It's basically, if you've heard of the main character syndrome, where you feel like the main character, it's kind of the opposite of that, where you realize that everybody else is also the main character of their own stories. An example could be something that I feel like we all would relate. After joining college, I realized with a sense of sonder that every student has their own journey through life. The idiom of today is the apple of one's eye, meaning something or someone that you love and cherish more than anything else. So if I say, Jasvita, you are the apple of my eye, that means I love Jasita more than everyone else. I love you guys also. Um, Speakers are encouraged to use the word of the day and the idiom of the day in your speeches, and I will be delivering my report when called upon by the general evaluator. Over to the GE.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sri Lalita. That was my amazing tag team. And good luck to all the speakers and evaluators who are going to be giving their speeches today. Back to the TMOD, Toastmaster Angelina.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sharnya, for introducing the tag team, and thank you, the tag team, for introducing yourself. Let's now discuss about the agenda of the meeting. It's divided into three categories, namely the prepared speeches session, the table topic session, and the evaluation segment. Next, we transition to one of the most eagerly awaited parts of our gathering, the prepared speeches segment. This is the platform where our members demonstrate their unwavering commitment to personal and professional development as communicators. Every speech you're about to witness today stands as a testament to the profound impact of empathy in establishing connections with an audience, sharing personal narratives, and delivering compelling messages. These speeches epitomize the result of diligent effort, rehearsal, and a steadfast dedication to enhancing our communication abilities. So, brace yourself to be inspired, enlightened, and entertained as we delve into the realm of empathy through the eloquent words of our talented speakers. Now, today's first speaker is Toastmaster Jaswita. She's attempting her L3P2 in the pathway presentation mastery. Her speech evaluator is Toastmaster Shambhavi. She introduces herself as I'm someone who likes viewing the world through a rose tinted glass. With that being said, Toastmaster Shambhavi, take the dais and convey the objectives of the project to the audience.
Thank you, Toastmaster Angelina. Toastmasters, good evening, everyone, and a special good evening to my target speaker, Toastmaster Jaswita. Toastmaster Jaswita will be attempting her Level 3 Project 2 under the Pathway Presentation Mastery. The purpose of this project is to begin developing a collection of humorous stories and to present a speech that includes humor. Uh, all the best to you, Toastmaster Jaswata, and over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you.
Yeah, the time limit for the speech is 5 to 7 minutes. Over to you again.
All good. Thank you, Toastmaster Shambhavi. Now, Toastmaster Jaswita introduces herself as a person who would choose empathy over sympathy any day. With that being said, all the best. Let's eagerly listen to the answer she has to her title, which is Toastmaster Jaswita, am I really funny? Am I really funny, Toastmaster Jaswita?
Thank you. Yes, you remember when you had to walk from your class to a lab or your most popular CIR classes, and all of your class rocks together as a pack of wolves. You just move together like Amirpet metro station. How many of you are from, like, at least you know the metro, right? You just stand at one place, you don't have to move, someone else would push you into the train, right? So all of my class were walking happily and they were chit chatting to each other. And I was there plugging in my headphones and thinking about something. If any other third person would have seen me, they would obviously have wondered, what is she even thinking about? Why is she so serious? Is she thinking about the Kasavanhalli traffic or the roads near Amrita or the World War II? What is she actually thinking about? You know what I was thinking about? What I was thinking about is much, much more serious. I was thinking about the number of Telugu words in the song Kavalaya. That was what I was doing so seriously, plugging in my headphones. And I was walking and I was thinking about how my life would be. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. I am Toastmaster Jaswata, and here I am to know about my sense of humor. These are a few incidents in my life. Listen to them and let us both equally ponder whether I am really funny or not. Let us do that, do we? Yes, no, maybe. Yes, let's go. So, back to the situation where I was seriously counting the number of words. One, two, three. Okay, back. I forgot the count. And out of blue, a guy just comes in front of me, and he just says, "Aswata, it's okay. It happens." Wait, what? Now, what does this guy even know about? Is he talking about the time where I was scrolling my phone and I just bumped into a wall? Or is he talking about the time where I had to tell my love story and I didn't really have a love story? So, you know what people usually do when they don't have a love story? They just tell something, right? And they usually use a story that they have seen someday. And I use Titanic. I used Titanic, and people actually believed half of it. And the other half, I made a fool out of the movie and myself together. And I was thinking in the second of 2 seconds of window, I was thinking a lot. What does this guy even know about? So, as amused as all of you are, as intrigued all of you are, I was also intrigued. And he started telling Jaswita, it's okay that you're short. You know, there is the anchor of a ship. The anchor is really small, but it holds a very, very big ship. Just like that, you are very, very important in this life. Okay, thank you. This guy just came, supported me, consoled me, and told me I'm short in 2 seconds. And I was supposed to understand all of that. And I said, okay, thank you. Thank you for that. And he also started saying, Jaswita, you remind me of someone. So, what do you usually do when you say that you remind me of someone? Are you interested to know who that someone is? Right. So I also started asking him, I wanted to support him the same support that he gave me, that I am the anchor of the ship. So I asked him, who do I look like? And he said, I look like some Tamil actor in some movie. And I was so interested. Okay, I look like an actor. Okay, tell me more about it. And he started saying, I can't remember it properly. Let me think about it. Let me think about it. And I said, yes, think about it. Think about it. And he said, like you, short. And that was the one thing my mind went blank for a second. And I just thought, okay, he is bickering something. Leave it. And but I was still walking to the lab. So I was just thinking about some incidents that happened in my 11th grade. In 11th grade, I was in Narayana and I was having an existential crisis, holding my thermodynamics chemistry book and my thermodynamics physics book in two hands. I was just looking at him, what the difference between both of it are. And there comes my friend, gasping, Jaswita, do you know it? Jaswita, do you know it? And I said, are they finally shifting us to a new jail, actual jail? Okay, none of you are from Narayana, I guess. So she started telling that okay, Medha fell. She was wearing slippers and it was very slippery, and she tumbled a whole 180. And I wanted to go console her as a good friend I am, and I went there and I told her, hey, um, I'm really sorry that happened. But before I completed a sentence, she started saying that, um, Jaswita, it's okay. It's not you. That's why you didn't get hurt most, but it's me. And so I got hurt most. What? I just thought, what is she talking about? Then she said, you are, according to thermodynamics, physics, chemistry, gravity, and the laws of Medha, tall people get hurt the most, and the short people doesn't get hurt. And I was thinking, I do sell my image as a superheroine, but my skin is not made of Kryptonian bone or Teflon. So why wouldn't I get hurt the most? And she started giving all her reasons, but my mind went blank and I just went to my room and I laughed a lot because there are a lot of conception about this short, tall things in our lives. And there might be humorous if you look at one lens. All the stories that I have told, if you look at another lens, you might feel it offended at some point of time. But if you look at a humorous lens, you might feel it really joking. You might feel even people think like this, right? So, just what I suggest to you all is that whenever you have some situations in your life, take it light when they are not that serious. And this is my story, and keep smiling. See you next speech. Thank you. Back to the TMOD.
Okay, that was a great speech. You have indeed answered the query that lingered in our minds. Give a round of applause for her, please. And next time, speakers and the respective evaluators, I request you to give a virtual handshake like Sharanya mentioned, so as to transfer the energy from one person to another and to build confidence as well. Okay, so let's go to today's second speaker, which is who is Toastmaster Nikhilesh. He is attempting his L2P1 in the pathway dynamic leadership. His speech evaluator is Toastmaster Aditya Meti. He introduces himself as, I don't need an intro. Just call me a lion and I'm ready to roar on the stage. Well then, please take the dais, Aditya Meti, and explain the objectives of the project.
Okay. Good evening, Toastmasters and my dear guests. Are there any guests here? No? Okay. Good evening, Toastmasters. So, and a warm good evening to my target speaker, Niklesh. And according to your objectives, you're performing, I mean, you're going to perform your L2P1 in the pathway dynamic leadership. And timer, please note, his time limit is 5 to 7 minutes. And coming to your speech objectives, they're pretty clear that you have to elaborate on your speech styles, leadership styles, basically, and not any other person's leadership styles. It should be your leadership styles, and also to share some aspects of your leadership styles in your past or in your present. So that with that being said, over to the TMOD.
Thank you, Toastmaster Aditya Meti. Now, Toastmaster Nikhilesh introduces himself as, I'm known as a good listener, but that is only because most of the time I don't know what to say. With that being said, Toastmaster Nikhilesh, what is the limit of a soldier? What is the limit of a soldier? Toastmaster Niklesh. All the best. Let's test the limits of our soldier there.
We all have grown up listening to stories of great leaders and leadership and have defined our idea of how a leader should be or what leadership is based on all these stories. Something similar to it, I have grown up witnessing leadership. The cradle I was rocked in is an inspiration to many who aspire to be great leaders. Greetings, Toastmasters. This is Toastmaster Nikhilesh, an Air Force brat. I might not look it, and I might also look homeless most of the time, but that is only because when in Rome, one should act like a Roman. Coming back to my story. This is a story which has inspired me a lot in terms of how to be a leader. And this goes back to my back to the days of my dad being a young officer. Once upon a time, long ago, well, not so long ago, when letters were still existing and telephone was one of the biggest possessions in our household, there lived a commanding officer in a place called Pathankot. And as I said, my dad was a young officer and he got posted to this place. This commanding officer used to extract the last of the sweat of each and every one of his officers. But never did he make his airmen work more than what they were supposed to. Now, just for reference, officers are like the commanders and the bannermen of an army. And airmen are the foot soldiers. And one more thing, this was a flying unit. So obviously, each and every day, what they were supposed to do was they were supposed to fly. And something about each and every flying unit is that the way we all have goal sheets, the way we all are supposed to complete these many goals by the end of each month, all the officers there have to fly these many hours each week. And usually what happens at a squadron level is when an officer fails to meet the objectives or the number of number of hours they're supposed to fly, the issue is they let the issue slide. But this commanding officer never did. He made sure that you fly the number of hours you're supposed to by the end of each week. And that means even if it takes 4 sorties a day, they'll make you do it. Now, each sortie is 4 hours. 4 hours consists of 45 minutes of flying, 3 hours of briefing and debriefing, and a lot of other miscellaneous things which have to be taken care of. So 4 sorties is 16 hours a day. 16 hours a day in uncomfortable flying overalls. And if that is not enough, this was back in the 90s when ACs weren't a very big thing. And on top of that, this was Punjab. So in summers, temperatures there were through the roof. This was summers. Let's go to the winters. In winters, this commanding officer, he used to call up all his officers at 3 a.m. in the morning or in the night, whichever is comfortable with you all. I'm not sure what you consider 3 a.m., morning or night. So he calls up all of them at 3 a.m. to the office. He'll say, everyone in office in the next 15 minutes. And all of them are supposed to be there. And once they reach the office, he says, I just wanted to check if you guys are ready for any eventuality. You can go back to your homes. So that is what happens. Occasionally he used to do that. Now, you all might think he's a very bad boss. He's the kind of boss people talk ill about. You might say, okay, he's the kind of boss who people, all the colleagues, they go to a bar, they pick up drinks, and they talk ill about this particular boss, and they bond over it. But here comes the twist. Every Friday at 2 p.m., no matter what is the situation or what is going on, he used to go to the flying room and say, boys, let's all hit the bar. This is how this commanding officer ended each and every week of his office working, each and every working week. And not only that, he made sure that all his officers come to his place over for dinner at least once every month without fail. And my dad used to say, from morning 7 to 2, that is the working hours, he used to be the boss who people hated to work for. But after that, from 2 o'clock onwards, he used to be just another colleague. If you want to go play squash with him, he'll come and play squash with you. If you want to grab a drink with him, he'll be there to grab a drink with you. If you want to go eat with him, he'll come out and have dine out with you. And so one day, my dad goes and asks him, "Sir, why is it that always when you call us at 3 o'clock in the morning, it is always us, the officers, and never the airmen?" To which He asked my dad, Cherry, what is the limit of a soldier? To which my dad says, what do you all think is the limit of a soldier? So my dad said the limit of a soldier, sir, is weapon systems, loads, distances, and mental strength, and and a lot of other things which you can say. To which the commanding officer nods. But my dad said he couldn't. The eyes of the commanding officer didn't reflect the satisfactory look. So my dad asked him, Sir, what is the limit of a soldier? To which the commanding officer said, the limit of a soldier is the limit of the officer who commands him. To which my dad was like, okay, so I fail to understand what you mentioned here. Can you please be a bit more elaborative? To which he says, Terry, a leader is someone who is bestowed upon with great responsibilities and opportunities. You will face situations which are not defined in the textbooks. And when you face such situations, not only the men you command or the people who you have to answer, but all the whole country looks up to you for the best possible solution you have. And not only that, as a leader, it is my responsibility to mold my future leaders. And that future leader is you. And that is something I would like to carry on for a long time. Oftentimes, what we see is there are different types of leadership. We find there are leadership styles where someone is a very coaching leader, or someone is a pace setting leader, or someone is a very democratic leader, or someone is a very bureaucratic leader. But something we see is all the leaders we have, be it our prime minister or some other prime minister, we all find that all of them fall into one of these categories. But to be a blend of all of these categories is something which no one has ever seen and no one has dreamt of. But for someone who has witnessed a leader of such sort, only makes me dream to be a leader of such sort. Thank you. Back to the TMOD.
That was an engaging speech indeed. Please give him a round of applause, please. Indeed, you have truly tested the limits of the soldier in you. With that being said, let's go to the third speaker, which is Toastmaster Abhay. He is attempting his L1P2 in the pathway leadership development. In other words, his icebreaker. L1P1, sorry. In other words, his icebreaker. The speech evaluator is Toastmaster Alfonsa. She introduces herself as every speech gives you a unique perspective, and today I'm ready to share mine. That being said, please take the dais and let the audience know about the objectives of this project, please. Kindly unmute yourself.
Sorry about that.
Alright.
Thank you, Toastmaster Angelina. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, guests, and especially Toastmaster Abhay. So, Toastmaster Abhay will be giving his L1P1 in the pathway leadership development. The purpose of the project would be for the speaker to introduce himself to the club and also to learn the basic structure of public speech. Timer, please note that the speech length would be 4 to 6 minutes. Toastmaster Abhay, I wish you all the best for your speech, and I'll be back with my evaluation when called upon by the general evaluator. Over to you, TMOD.
Thank you, Toastmaster Alfonsa. Toastmaster Abhay introduces himself as a short-tempered introvert who's trying to go with the flow of life. With that being said, Toastmaster Abhay, overcoming procrastination, Toastmaster Abhay. All the best. Let's see if you have overcome one of the toughest hurdles in our lives. Please take the dais.
Guys, how many of you here have been in situations where you have a mountain of tasks to complete, deadlines to meet, and yet you thought that there is time? Convince yourself that all is well. How many of you? Okay, I see a lot of hands. Just not really a good thing. We should work on that. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. I am Abhay Vinod, pursuing CSC in third year. I was born in Kannur, a district in Kerala, and brought up in Mumbai and a few other places. As my dad was getting transferred often, I got this opportunity to uh, visit a lot of places and meet a lot of people. Despite that, I still feel I'm not really uh, fond of interacting with new people. And I feel like I've always been that way. But from now on, I'm trying to change that. And coming to my childhood, uh, I've always been a really mischievous and energetic. I could say I was extroverted that time. Now, there's one incident that pops up when I think about me being mischievous, which I'll share it now. It was when I was like around some 4 to 5 years old, and my family was traveling the train. And at a station, my dad just got down for a walk. And then at that time, my mom was looking after my little sister. She was around 1 or 2 years old. And I just got out of the train in search of him. I don't know why, but I did. And luckily, he found me on time. And so I'm here. Otherwise, more than Toastmasters, I'd be in need of basic education right now. So that is one incident that I remember being mischievous. And then about school days, uh, I completed most of my schooling in Bangalore itself. And those were so far the best days for me. And then after that, 11th, 12th, pressure of boards, and then COVID happened. That did ruin quite a lot of things. I guess you all too can relate. We all lost a part of ourselves somewhere somehow. And then after that, I became really lazy, started procrastination, and things didn't go the way I expected it would go. It went worse. It was like a downfall. Even in college, when I started, the expectation was something else and reality was something else. And now telling all this, you might think that I'm a really boring person, but still, there are some things I'd say I really enjoy doing. First of which is football that I really love. But then again, that also I couldn't really uh, train myself well, and I feel I couldn't reach my full potential for that. Apart from that, there's also chess, which I enjoy, and then occasionally swimming as well. Uh, about joining Tab, like why I joined, I'd say this fear of public speaking and fear of interacting with a lot of people has been there for a while. And I realized that this is something I need to work on. And Tab actually provides this platform. It's like a platform and provides a lot of opportunities to improve in that aspect. So that's one thing. But then again, laziness and procrastination was there at that time as well. I was thinking a lot, if I actually need to do this, is it that necessary? Will I be able to do good? Because again, speeches, taking up roles, I felt is a big deal for me. So that was one thing. And then expectations. Soon, as I progress with these features and roles, I feel that I'll be more confident and I will overcome this fear of public speaking. And hopefully, I will be able to interact with a lot of new people. And about my aspirations, I'd say, like mentioned by the TM Moody, I'm trying to go with the flow of life, seeing where it takes me. Otherwise, there's also uh, one main dream that I still didn't give up on. It's to try UPSC and get into civil services. Still haven't started the preparations, but soon. So yeah, that's it about me. Thank you. Over to you, Greenwood.
I request you all to stand up to give him a big round of applause for his icebreaker, please. That was a really good speech. All right. Today's fourth speaker is Toastmaster Dhanushri. She's attempting her L1P1 in the pathway presentation mastery. Her speech evaluator is Toastmaster Shivansh. He introduces himself as a part-time student and a full-time binger. That being said, please take the dais and convey the objectives. Over to you, Toastmaster Shivansh.
Uh, Good afternoon to everyone present, and a special good afternoon to my target speaker, Toastmaster Dhanushri. Toastmaster Dhanushri will be attempting her L1P1 in the pathway presentation mastery. So, the basic objective of this speech is for the speaker to introduce herself to the club and understand the basic structuring of a speech and a public speech. Timer, please note that the limit for the time limit for the speech is 4 to 6 minutes with a buffer of 30 seconds. Back to the TMOD.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shivansh. Well, Toastmaster Dhanushri introduces herself as be it myself or just the walls of my room, a group of friends, or a huge crowded auditorium. I love to talk. That being said, Toastmaster Dhanushri, be a bush if you can't be a tree. Be a bush if you can't be a tree, Toastmaster Dhanushri. All the best and over to you.
Be a bush if you can't be a tree. If you can't be the sun, be a star. If you can't be a highway, just be a trail. For isn't size that determines whether you win or lose? Be the best of whatever you are. Good afternoon to all the Toastmasters. I am Toastmaster Dhanushri, and this is my first speech in Toastmasters. If you're wondering why I quoted the above lines, eventually by the end of the speech, maybe you'll realize what was the main idea of quoting those lines. Moving back to my school life, which is probably a very wider span where I spent most of the time before college. Uh, just like everyone else's life, but my life also has multiple segments. And I believe there are certain segments of my life that are way more significant, dynamic, and interesting than the others. So I would be highlighting on and speaking about each of those segments. Coming back to my high school, which is, to be precise, in my ninth grade, um, generally I was a very overexcited, overhyped, extroverted kid. Anything new that comes up, any new event that comes up, I would just go give up my name and just, irrespective of whether I'm good at it, irrespective of whether I know it or not, I am that person who goes, gives her name, just does the thing. So there was this form that was being given out to fill for the student council. And I was, as I said, I was the first one to go and get the form. I get the form, and then the first question, like after your name, class, and section, the first question was, what are your strengths? What are my strengths? I didn't know. Okay, moving on to the next question. It was, what are your weaknesses? I didn't know my strengths, neither would I know my weaknesses. The next question was, why do you want to be a leader? What qualities do you possess in order to become a leader? Nothing. I was completely clueless. I didn't even know what to fill in. And it was that blank sheet of paper that made me realize that I don't even know who I was. And if I didn't know who I was, how can I convey people? How can I express myself and make people understand who I am? So I decided first I need to get to know myself. I need to understand myself. And at that point, it was at that point that I realized likings were no more your favorite color or like the hobby that you picked up recently or your favorite movie character. It was likings had a very deeper meaning as to who you really want to be. So that my application got rejected. As I said, it wasn't a very strong one, so I didn't even get nominated that year. And when the results came out, I knew it, like, mine wasn't strong. So I decided to put myself into multiple situations to explore opportunities. Anything that came my way, I used to go give my name, and then maybe through that way, at least I'll realize what I really want to do. So I joined my school's basketball team, and I was already a part of dance and music. And then I even joined my school's small event society. And I would say that society, whatever little confidence I have right now, whatever little public speaking opportunities I've gotten till now, that society has given it all. It not just gave me public speaking, it also gave me confidence. It made me to respect and accept different perspectives. It also gave me a space to network with different people. And above all, it taught me how to be diplomatic. So 10th grade was good. I was liking how I was shaping myself. I was uh, I was literally going great guns, and how do I say? It was like the peak of my growth. I was liking the person that I was becoming. And then every peak has a downfall, right? So I think all of you would have guessed by now. COVID happened. I don't know, the motivated self that I was completely gone. I completely lost focus. I don't know what I was doing. And that 2 years down the line, I just found myself in a place wherein I had no clue what I was doing. I had a dream. I never worked towards it. I was completely not sincere about what I was doing. And then I found myself in a place where everyone around me got into their dream university, went abroad, got into some IIT or NIT. And then there were people in other case at colleges. It was just me at that point who didn't get into any college. And for the 10th grade person I was, I just kept comparing myself because back then I was like the apple. Um, back then I was the apple of my teacher's eyes. I mean, it was like, who am I right now? I wasn't the person back then. Who am I right now? What am I doing? So I just felt really bad about that. And the only one opportunity that I had left was Amrita. And then that at that point, I decided that I let all the opportunities go away. And if I let this also go away, it's just pointless hereafter. And that moment, I realized I shouldn't let anyone else decide for me. I shouldn't allow anyone else influence my decisions. And it's okay, even if I cannot be a tree, I can still be a bush. Even if I cannot be the sun, I can still be a star. And even if I cannot be a highway, I can just be a trail, because size doesn't matter. It's about giving your best. So that's why I'm here today. And I'm looking forward to many more speeches in Toastmasters. Thank you.
Please give it a big round of applause. That was a really brilliant speech, and you have shown us a different perspective of the same title that you have mentioned. But that being said, let's get into that one of the facets that I was talking about when it comes to empathy. First thing, classroom dynamics. In our school days, we have all experienced the joys and challenges of group projects. Think back to those moments when you had to understand and accommodate the perspectives of your classmates. That's empathy in action, as it enables effective teamwork and problem solving. Let me give you an example. Imagine a group project in college where we had to design a sustainable community garden. I initially envisioned a sleek, modern design, but my classmate suggested a more traditional approach rooted in community values. Listening to her perspective, I realized the importance of inclusivity and embracing diverse ideas. Therefore, we compromised by blending our ideas, creating a garden that seamlessly combined innovation and community investment. This experience taught me that empathy fosters collaboration and leads to more holistic solutions in teamwork. Now, we move on to the exciting part of our meeting, the table topic segment. During this session, we'll observe the skill of quick thinking and the ability to show empathy through spontaneous answers through our speeches. Our table topics master has crafted thought provoking questions that will push our members to step into various situations and to envision different viewpoints and responding to it with empathy and imagination. It's a fantastic opportunity for all of us to gauge on how effectively we can connect with our own emotions and understand the feelings of others in the moment. Therefore, prepare for an engaging and stimulating session that highlights the strength of empathy in impromptu speaking. Today's table topic master is Toastmaster Nandan. He introduces himself as I would like to be sincere and punctual in the task I do. I'm a person trying to learn all new things that can make me better in my life. With that being said, over to you, Toastmaster Nandan.
Thank you. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. Today I am going to be a today's table topic master. And I would like to first of all congratulate our team mod for today, Angelina, who chose a nice theme for today, and that's through their lens. A psychological exploration of a psychological exploration of the psychological exploration of empathy. So in the world, differences divide us. Empathy is the one which is which helps us to combine and share our opinions. So today our topics are going to be related to our theme and empathy. So let's call upon our table topic speakers for today. So I would like to ask who would like to volunteer for today's table topics. Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Give a round of applause for Vinay. So I would like So I would like to ask you, which is your choose a number from 1 to 10. 6. Okay. So your table topic is I'm going to give you a condition and you are going to speak on that. Empathy often involves active listening. Share a tip or technique you used to be a better listener. Or technique. Empathy involves active listening. So share a tip or technique you used to be a better listener.
So, good evening, everyone. I'm Vinay. At the beginning of my Toastmasters journey, I just used to be so introverted kid. So I just used to sit aside and I just used to listen to all the speeches, whether it might be good or it might not be good. I just used to go to that person and used to say, "Hey, wonderful speech, wonderful speech." Even though his speech doesn't mean anything, I used to say, "Hey, wonderful speech." So after that, I uh, gradually reduced my interest towards those speeches. And then here comes my mentor. He told me that he asked me why am I not able to listen those speeches actively. And then I said him that I'm not able to like connect with that particular topics which the speaker chooses. So he just gave me a small tip. He told me like whenever I'm not able to connect with that particular topic, he told me to imagine a very beautiful girl so that you cannot take your eyes out of that, right? So you'll be looking at him like this and he won't get distracted and neither do you. So whenever you are feeling disconnected from a particular speech, just imagine a very beautiful girl there, which is not a difficult task, right? Carry on. Or to you, table dog master.
That was a nice tip. Now, who would like to be the second? Yeah, Shivansh. Who is? Okay. Toastmaster Arpita, right? Yeah. Yeah. So I would like to choose any number from 1 to 10, except 6. Fine. Okay. So your table topic is share a story about a time when you had to step into someone else's shoes to resolve a conflict or disagreement.
Okay, so let me start. There are some certain number of time where there are the small fights happening in between your families, right? Like your parents fighting because of you, and might be some other reasons. Well, I had picked up a fight with my mom uh, due to some other reasons, which I can't mention it for today. But uh, at the end, that led to a huge fight with my parents. That was my dad and my mom having other some or the other conflicts, uh, which again led to a huge, you know, what do you say, the drama in my home, and I couldn't like handle it for a long time. So at that point of time, I was never empathetic to neither of my parents because I was always that introverted kid who used to not even talk to my parents very often, and it was just a short conversation. Uh, then later, after some time, I just started feeling empathetic towards my mom, and I just started to gain, the knowledge, or just see in her, put myself in her shoes and just look at her, and that's what happened. And I just tried, at least right now, I'm just trying to put the conflicts which is happening at my home and like to try to maintain the peace between my parents and myself with my parents. With that being said, thank you.
It was a nice speech. Well, now who would like to come? Yeah, Shambhavi. Yeah, Toastmaster Shambhavi. Which number you would like to choose from 1 to 10? 2. Well, well. Your table topic is how has practicing empathy improved your relationships with others?
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome to my channel, Weekend Motivations. Today, I'll be talking about how empathy has helped me with my relations with people around me. First thing to note is that I'm not someone who is empathetic to anyone. If someone is going through something, I think, oh, it's their problem, they'll deal with it. But, well, I do help them by adding fuel to the fire. If someone is sad, I tell them, how is this affecting your life? They say, it's not affecting me in any way. Then I said, what's the point of thinking about this? Why not drop and go eat some ice cream? Why not drop this and think about something else? So that's how I uh, connect to people who want me to talk with them. And this over the years has helped me get together with some people with whom I can be really open. If they come to me and say, dude, this person did this and there's so much drama, I'll be like, damn, you have tea. Spill the tea. And after they have told everything, I'll be like, now drop this. Is this something that will affect you today or in the long term or anytime? No, drop it. Come eat some ice cream. Give me some ice cream. Treat me to ice cream. Thank you. Ice cream is the answer. And that would be for the weekly dose of motivation. Thank you for my chat to coming to my channel. Like, share, and subscribe. Over to Toastmaster Nandan. Huh? Demotivation.
It was a nice speech. Now who would like to come? Yeah. Toastmaster Dhanushri. You choose a number. Your table topic is share a personal story about a time when you truly understood someone else's perspective and how it impacted your actions.
As I said, the COVID period was kind of stressful for most of us. And it was that period where I had multiple difference of opinions between me and my parents. So I wanted to do something. My parents wanted another thing that they preferred, obviously for the right reasons because they wished for my good, without doubt. But for me at that point, I didn't have the I wouldn't say maturity, but I didn't even try to think in that perspective. Firstly, because during the COVID period, we were all in just into one room within the four walls. I didn't mingle with people. I was so antisocial, and that really led me to this point where I stopped being empathetic at all. I was not this person until 10th grade, and that whole transition was pretty weird. So whatever things that I wanted to attain, none of them were happening in that period. And I showed all of that anger on my parents just because of the difference of opinions we had. Because as I said, they wanted a completely different thing and I wanted a completely different thing. And when I didn't get what I wanted, I used to blame it on them. But looking back, I just realized that was so pointless and what I did was so wrong. I pressurized myself and I also put the same pressure on them, which is completely wrong. So I've just learned one lesson, like not just with my parents, but with anyone else. Whenever you have difference of opinions or perspectives, just go think on the other side. Sometimes you will be right. It's not that every time the other person's right when you have difference of opinions, but if you go and look from the other side, sometimes you might be wrong, sometimes you might be right. And depending on that, you can decide what you really want to do. So it's something that I've learned.
It was a wonderful speech. Now, who like to come? Okay, Viraj. Okay, come, Viraj. You choose a number. Five. Okay. Your topic is discuss a book, movie, or TV show that profoundly explores the theme of empathy and its impact on society.
You. I'll take my 30 seconds. Okay. So tell me, who all knows Sinchan? Who all think he's empathetic? Hey, none. I feel like he's empathetic. See, Sinchan, he's mischievous. Okay, fine. It's great. He's mischievous. He makes you laugh. He doesn't think about others. But sometimes when he needs to, he think about others. Think of some episodes. With one episode, I would tell his friend is Masao. Sinchan and Masao, they had some conflict in between because of a friend Kazama. So Kazama did a mistake because of which all blame came on Masao. But this mistake was, but this thing was known by Sinchan, and he didn't want to feel Masao. He didn't want to make Kazama feel. I got confused. Sorry. Okay, the fault was of Masao, Kazama. Blame came on Masao, and Sinchan knew this. Everyone thought that it is Masao's fault. Then what Sinchan did, he took all the blame on him. Kazama also did knew that he did the mistake. It was only Sinchan who knew that the mistake was done by Kazama. But the empathetic part of Sinchan, he didn't tell that Kazama did the mistake, and he took all the blame from Masao on him. So isn't it empathetic? He understood others' feeling. He understood that if I blame Kazama, he will also feel bad. His respect will be gone, self confidence, respect, all that. He took the blame on him.
He's empathetic. See, it's not necessary to every time be empathetic. Be in the situation where it is needed. Thank you.
Well, it was another wonderful story. Well, this was our table topic session. 5 speakers are up, so we have to. Yeah. Yeah. So now, yeah. So it was a wonderful session with all, and I like the way how the all the speakers shared their stories on the empathy and related their all stories to empathy. I like the way. Well, now over to you, to Team Mod, Angelina.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nandan, for that amazing and engaging table topic session. Before we go to the evaluation segment, timer Toastmaster Aditya Vijayapu, could you please let us know if we can have a 5-minute break before delving into the same? Put a thumbs up. Okay, thank you. Now the break officially begins. Time would correctly note the timings.